All right, so are you ready to unlock like a whole new level of English fluency?
I think so.
I hope so, because today we're going to dive deep into the world of podcasts.
Sounds fun.
And, you've already told us that you're serious about mastering English.
I am.
So we're here to show you how podcasts can seriously be like your secret weapon.
Cool.
We found this awesome guide.
Oh, nice.
It's packed with tips and tricks, and we're going to break it all down for you right here.
Amazing.
So what's so fascinating about this approach
Well,
is that it's not just your typical textbook stuff, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it really goes way beyond those traditional textbook methods,
Right.
We're talking about really immersing yourself in the natural rhythms and flow of English.
Yeah.
And the best part is research has actually shown that this can be incredibly effective.
And I can totally vouch for that.
Okay.
Like, I used to struggle so much with sounding too formal.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, like I was reading straight from a textbook. But, after I started listening to podcasts consistently,
Yeah,
I noticed such a huge difference in how natural my English started to sound.
that's awesome.
It did. It was like I was absorbing the language through osmosis or something.
All right.
So let's unpack why podcasts are such a game changer.
Okay, let's do it.
Especially for someone like you who's so dedicated to actually mastering English.
Right. Well, for starters, the flexibility is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can literally fit in learning time whenever and wherever it works for you.
That's so true.
Like, picture this. You're waiting for the bus. You're walking the dog. You're cooking dinner.
We're doing the laundry.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. Instant English lesson.
I love it.
No more rigid schedules or classroom constraints.
And it's not just about convenience.
Right.
It's about keeping things interesting and engaging.
Yeah.
Textbooks can be so dry and repetitive.
Totally.
But with podcasts, there's like endless variety.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, it doesn't matter what you're into.
Yeah.
True crime, history, comedy, learning about tech gadgets.
Oh, yeah. Anything.
There's a podcast out there for you.
Definitely.
And it's just waiting to teach you something new, all in English.
And because you're choosing topics that you actually find interesting,
Right.
you're naturally going to be more motivated to listen and learn.
So true.
Plus, you get exposed to a wider range of accents and like different speaking styles
I hadn't even thought of that.
and vocabulary that you wouldn't necessarily find in a textbook.
Yeah.
It's like having a front row seat to real life conversations.
I love that. So we've established that podcasts are pretty awesome.
Definitely.
But how do you actually find the right ones for your level?
Right.
This guide suggests starting by honestly assessing where you're at
Okay.
with your English skills.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree. It's like choosing the right weight at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
You want something challenging,
Right.
but not so heavy that you just give up,
You don't want to hurt yourself.
Exactly. So for beginners...
There are podcasts like The English We Speak.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, they break down common idioms and phrases into these like bite-sized episodes.
I love those.
Yeah, they're perfect for building that solid foundation.
They are.
In fact, I remember listening to their episode on the phrase to hit the books,
Uh-huh.
and it finally clicks for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that means.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I love that one too.
It's great.
Those short episodes are perfect for squeezing in during a coffee break or something.
Absolutely. Now, for someone at an intermediate level,
Like you.
yeah, like me,
You're going to want to step things up a notch.
right.
What would you recommend?
Well, All Ears English is a great option.
Okay.
They cover everyday expressions and even cultural insights.
Cool.
And they also dive into the nuances of American English.
I like that.
Yeah, they recently had an episode on using the word like.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it was so eye-opening to learn all the different ways we use that word without even realizing it.
See, even native speakers can learn something new.
Oh, definitely.
So you mentioned you're aiming for advanced fluency.
I am.
So let's talk about some podcasts that'll really push you.
All right, I'm ready.
What do you think about The Daily?
Oh, from the New York Times.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
If you're ready to dive into complex discussions
Yeah.
and sophisticated language,
Sure.
it's a great choice.
I've heard good things about that one.
They cover a wide range of news topics
Uh-huh.
with in-depth analysis and like thought-provoking commentary.
That sounds intense.
It is.
But wouldn't something more tailored to my interests
Yeah.
be even more engaging?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And I was actually thinking about the segment they did on artificial intelligence.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Knowing how much you love technology,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I thought you might find that one particularly fascinating.
You know me so well.
Now remember,
Yeah.
finding the right podcast is just the first step.
Okay.
The real magic happens when you move beyond passive listening
Right.
and start actively engaging with the content.
Okay. I like where this is going.
So let's unpack that a bit.
Awesome.
What are some strategies you can use
Uh-huh.
to maximize that learning experience?
Well, I'd say first and foremost, ditch the distractions.
Good one.
Put your phone on silent, find a quiet spot, and really focus on what you're hearing.
I like it.
Like, imagine you're having a conversation with the speaker.
Yeah.
Listen attentively and try to anticipate what they're going to say next.
Oh, I love that.
It's all about creating that truly immersive listening experience.
Yes. And don't be afraid to hit that pause button
Uh-huh.
if you need a moment to process what you've heard
For sure.
or jot down some notes.
I do that all the time.
Speaking of notes,
Yeah.
what kind of things should we be focusing on while we're listening?
Well, new vocabulary is key for sure.
Okay.
Whenever you encounter a word or phrase that's new to you,
Mm-hmm.
write it down.
Got it.
But don't stop there.
Oh.
Look up the definition.
yeah.
Okay. Try to use it in a sentence of your own
Great advice.
and see if you can find other examples of how it's used in different contexts.
So it's kind of like building your own personalized vocabulary toolkit.
Exactly.
And the more tools you have,
Yeah,
the more fluent and expressive you'll become.
that's fine. What's next?
This guide also mentions something called shadowing.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever tried that?
I have. It's
I've
great.
done it. Exactly.
But it's basically mimicking the speaker as closely as you can.
Okay.
Try to match their pace, their intonation,
Mm-hmm.
even their pauses.
Wow.
Think of it like having a conversation with the speaker where you're echoing their every word.
I remember when I first tried shadowing,
Yeah.
it felt kind of awkward at first.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like I was doing a bad impression or something.
Uh-huh.
But after a while,
Yeah.
I noticed such a big improvement
Oh, wow.
in my pronunciation and fluency.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's like you're internalizing the rhythm of the language.
Yes, exactly. And, if the podcast offers transcripts,
Mm-hmm.
use them to your advantage.
Yeah, they're helpful.
They're like a cheat sheet for connecting the spoken and written forms of English.
Right.
I find that reading along with the transcript
Yeah.
really helps me catch those subtle nuances that I might have missed
Totally.
just by listening.
Yeah.
And, we can't underestimate the power of repetition.
Oh, for sure.
You've probably heard the saying, practice makes perfect.
Many times.
And it definitely applies to language learning.
100%.
Repetition is key.
Yes, it is.
Don't just listen to an episode once and move on.
No.
Go back and listen to it again and again.
Yeah.
Each time you'll pick up on something new.
Right.
And those words and structures will really start to stick in your memory.
They do.
It's like revisiting a favorite movie.
Oh, yeah.
You always notice new details that you didn't see before.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
we've covered finding the right podcasts. We've covered active listening. We've covered repetition.
Well.
So what other strategies should we have in our arsenal?
Well, podcasts are just one piece of the language learning puzzle.
Right.
To really master English, you need to build a wider learning ecosystem.
So it's about connecting the dots
Exactly.
and finding ways to integrate podcasts with other resources.
Precisely, think of it like this. You've got your podcast, like your main course,
Yeah.
packed with all those delicious language nutrients.
Okay, I'm really liking these food analogies today.
But to make it a truly balanced meal, you need some sides.
Right. I'm with you. So what kind of sides are we talking about?
Well, language learning apps are fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
Think of Duolingo or Memrise,
Uh-huh.
like your trusty hammer and nails,
Okay.
They help you build those vocabulary and grammar skills
Right.
through those bite-sized lessons and fun little exercises.
I've actually been using Memrise to learn a little bit of Korean.
Oh, cool.
And it's amazing how quickly I'm picking up new words.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And don't underestimate the power of visual learning.
True.
Movies and TV shows in English.
Yeah.
They're like blueprints for understanding how the language is actually used
Oh, yeah.
in real life.
In real life situations.
Pay attention to the way characters speak their body language, the cultural references. It all adds another layer to your understanding.
I totally agree. And it's so much more engaging
Right.
than just staring at a textbook.
Totally.
If you're enjoying a good thriller or you're laughing along with a sitcom,
Yeah.
you're not even realizing how much you're absorbing.
Exactly. And now let's not forget about active engagement.
Okay.
Think of it as putting those language skills to work.
Yeah.
I
like that.
Imagine you're building a deck onto that language house of yours.
Oh,
You wouldn't just read the instructions.
right.
You would actually get out there and start hammering right.
So true.
Yeah.
So how do we hammer those skills that we're picking up from podcasts?
Well, joining online forums or discussion groups
Okay.
related to the podcast you're enjoying can be super helpful.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's a chance to share your thoughts,
Yeah.
debate different perspectives,
Hmm.
and really practice writing and speaking
Yeah.
in a more relaxed and supportive environment.
It's like having a book club, but for podcasts. You
Exactly.
get to connect with people who are passionate about the same things, and you're all learning and growing together.
It's a fantastic way to build confidence and make those language skills feel more real.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And if you're up for a challenge,
Yeah.
try summarizing episodes in your own words,
Okay.
either spoken or written.
Mhm.
It forces you to really understand those key takeaways
Yeah.
and articulate them in a way that makes sense to you.
It's like taking all those raw materials from the podcast
Yeah.
and crafting your own unique piece of furniture for that language house we're building.
I love it. And just like building a house, consistency is key for mastering English.
That's so true.
This guide really emphasizes that even dedicating a little time each day
Uh-huh.
is more effective than cramming in those marathon sessions every now and then.
It's like those daily workouts, right?
Totally.
You wouldn't expect to run a marathon after one intense session at the gym.
No way.
You have to build up your stamina gradually,
Right.
and language is no different.
Exactly. Even 15 minutes of focused listening each day can make a world of difference.
I think that's really encouraging to hear.
And to keep yourself motivated and on track,
Yeah.
why not make learning a game?
Oh, fun.
Set yourself small goals. Maybe learn 5 new words every day.
I like it.
Or try listening to a whole episode without pausing
Okay.
and celebrate your achievements along the way.
I found that keeping a language learning journal is super helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like to jot down new words and phrases
Uh-huh.
and try to use them in sentences.
Oh, good idea.
And I even keep track of which podcasts I've listened to. It's
Yeah.
a visual reminder of all the progress I'm making,
Yeah.
and it helps me stay accountable.
Accountability is key. And how about this? Try recording yourself speaking English
Yeah.
at regular intervals.
Okay.
It might feel a bit awkward at first,
Yeah.
but it's the best way to actually hear those subtle improvements
Yeah.
in your pronunciation, your fluency, your confidence.
I love that it's like creating your own personal highlight reel
Right.
of all those language learning milestones. You can go back and listen to those early recordings
Yeah.
and be amazed at how much you've grown.
It's incredibly motivating to see how far you've come.
It is.
And it can really fuel your desire to keep learning and exploring.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from choosing the right podcasts
Uh-huh.
to building that vibrant language learning ecosystem
Yeah,
and embracing the importance of consistent practice.
that's right.
But before we move on, I'm curious
Yeah?
to hear what you find most exciting about this approach to mastering English.
You know, for me, it's the way podcasts tap into the inherent joy of learning.
Oh, yeah.
They make language acquisition feel less like a chore and more like this fascinating adventure.
It's like you're sneaking in those veggies without even realizing it.
Exactly.
You're engrossed in a captivating story, or you're laughing along with a comedian,
Yeah.
or you're learning about something that you're truly interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while, your brain is just soaking up the nuances of English.
It's true. And when you're actually enjoying the process,
Right.
learning becomes effortless and
Yeah.
you naturally crave more.
I'm totally with you on that. It's about shifting your perspective
Yes.
from I have to I want to.
I love that.
It's no longer about memorizing grammar rules in isolation.
Right.
It's about experiencing language in its natural dynamic form.
And that's where the real magic happens.
Yes.
You're no longer just studying English, you're living it.
It's like the difference between reading a travel brochure and actually stepping off the plane in a new country.
Oh, I like that.
Podcasts allow you to immerse yourself in the culture,
Yeah.
the humor, the rhythm of the language,
The energy.
in a way that textbooks just can't replicate.
They're your passport to a world of diverse voices and perspectives and stories.
All just waiting to be explored.
Exactly.
So to sum it all up, it seems like podcasts are not just a tool for language learning.
Right.
They're a gateway to a richer, more engaging experience with English as a whole.
Absolutely. It's about finding the right podcasts for your level and interests,
Mm-hmm.
actively engaging with the content,
Yeah.
and making consistent practice a part of your daily routine.
Those are great takeaways.
But above all,
Yeah.
it's about embracing that joy of discovery
I love that.
and allowing yourself to be swept away by the magic of language.
Now, just before we wrap up,
Okay.
we want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Right.
As you embark on your own podcast language learning adventure, we've talked about finding that perfect podcast match for you and using active listening techniques.
Yeah.
And even like incorporating other resources to build this like dynamic learning ecosystem. But what if we took it like a step further?
Okay.
What if you could actually turn your passion for podcasts into a language learning tool itself?
Ooh, that's interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's all about taking ownership of your learning journey and finding creative ways to make it your own.
I like that a lot.
So let's brainstorm some possibilities here.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about starting a podcast club?
Oh, like with other people?
Yeah, with other English language learners.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
You could meet up virtually or in person.
Yeah.
Discuss episodes, share new vocabulary, and even practice your speaking skills in this like supportive environment.
That'd be awesome.
It would.
It's like having this built-in accountability system.
Oh, yeah.
And a group of cheerleaders to keep you going.
I love that. Keeping you motivated.
Yeah.
Inspired.
And just imagine the bonds you could form, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Over this shared love of podcasts and language learning.
I mean, it really is like those book clubs we were talking about earlier.
It is.
But with this added bonus of actually honing your English skills at the same time.
I love it.
And here's another thought.
Okay.
What about challenging yourself to create your own mini podcast?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I know, right?
That's a big step.
It is a big step.
But that's taking things to a whole new level.
It is, but it could be so fun.
Yeah.
And it might sound intimidating at first.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's an incredible way to really put all those skills you've been developing in
practice.
And you're putting it all together.
Yeah, and you could choose like a topic
that
you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Write a short script. Record yourself speaking.
Yeah.
And even share it with friends or fellow language learners for feedback.
Oh, yeah. Like, get some constructive criticism.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having your own personal language lab.
I love that. Where you're the teacher, the student, and the creator all rolled into one.
That's amazing. And who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent for podcasting along the way.
That's true.
You never know.
But even if you never share your creations with the world, that process of planning, scripting, recording, editing, all of that will force you to really engage with the language on a deeper level.
It's taking those passive listening skills and transforming them into this active creative expression.
I like that.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I know, right? It's gone by so fast.
Yeah, it has.
Into the world of podcasts for language learning.
Yeah.
We want to leave you with this one final thought.
Okay, I'm ready.
The possibilities are truly endless.
I like that.
So don't be afraid to experiment.
Yes.
Get creative and make this journey your own.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Embrace the joy of discovery. Celebrate your progress. And never stop exploring that vast and ever-evolving world of podcasts.
It's a big world out there.
It is. So who knows what amazing linguistic adventures are waiting for you.
I'm excited to find out.
So go ahead, hit that subscribe button.
Do it.
And get ready to unlock a world of language learning possibilities.
Yes.
All thanks to the power of podcasts.
Podcasts are amazing.
Until next time, happy listening.
And happy learning.